Yo, it's your guy Huff. Hope all is well. We vibing on a level that we know so well. Got a crew in the mix, yeah, we making waves. Hufflink TV, where the passion behaves. In a world full of choices, we find our niche. Streaming through the madness, it's the life we preach. Cutting through the clutter, we're the chosen few. Talking tech and trends, it's what we gonna do. Gather round the screen, let's ignite the spark. From smart TVs to gadgets, we leave our mark. Exploring all the alternatives, you know what it is. Sharing insights and knowledge, that's how we live. Hufflink is the place where we come alive.
Hello, family. It's your guy, Huff, and I hope all is well. I'm in a good mood today, family. Hope you are too. Every once in a while, I'll take the time out just to address you, family, to speak with you, let you know what's going on. So I'm going to get the ball rolling with a bit of conversation. So get you a cup of coffee, get you some tea, maybe a beer, a cigar, a smoke, whatever. I'm sitting here in the lab. I'm sitting here comfortable. I got a little bit of water right here because I'll be getting thirsty. So get what you need. I'll give you a minute. Well, family, today let's talk about streaming in the direction that I think streaming is going. I'm just going to give you just my opinion on it because I listened to a lot of conversation about streaming. Some think streaming is dead. Well, basically, I'm not going to say streaming is dead. Well, some are saying streaming is dead. And some are saying that the conversation on YouTube or streaming is dead. And it depends on where you're at. Now we got the content creators. We have our end users. And we have people just there to learn. Now I agree things had changed since back in the day. I didn't have a YouTube channel back in the day. And they talked about many things that they really can't talk about today. So a lot of content creators, they weren't able to get their content out there anymore. It forced groups to break up, and they went in their separate directions. And so when there was an abundance of information out there to share, you got to think everyone was doing that. That's why they were successful. That's where they were getting the likes. That's where they were getting a lot of viewers. But then, things change. And that's what happened. Things change. And so it wouldn't make any sense to try to teach something that was back in the day because things have elevated now. What we taught then, most people know how to do it already. They're already educated. They know how to do it. So then where does that leave us at? We had to create, we still had to create content. We just had to take a different aspect towards it. We had to take a different direction. We had to take a different road. There are still things that you could talk about streaming. Like you hear a phrase like there are only so many boxes. There's so many There are so many boxes. No, there are so many boxes. So many boxes. And we gotta think what we do, the way we stream, the way AI has come into the picture, everything just is still changing. And so we had to change with it. We had to talk about what's relevant today. So if you don't elevate, you're not going to survive. Now, when I started my channel, I, I promise you, I was not on the agenda. I just went and had the nerve to do it, and I finally did get the nerve to do it. So you got to think. I looked at my channel when I first started it. I had the channel 4 or 5 years, but I didn't start posting till like a little over a year ago. And so one day I looked at my views and I had 10 views. I had 10 views and I had 5 positive comments. Family. I had got 10 views. I was like, wow. I reached 10 people and they learned something from me and they liked my content. So honestly, I was cool with that. I had 10 people. They paid attention to me and they found the information useful. 10 people. Believe it or not, I was cool with that. And then one day I had like 25. I said, oh man, that was 25 people right there. I was at 10. So I never had any concerns about that. I just kept on making videos to the point where I was making videos. I wasn't saying like, share, subscribe. I wasn't doing any of that. Once I started teaching myself and watching other YouTube videos, the ones that really made a big influence on me were the ones that were talking about don't worry about when you're first starting out. It's going to be a rough road, but what you should try to do each video, try to make it better. So whatever program you use, try to use a different sound effect, try to use a different video effect, and then it'll start getting better. It'll start getting better. And then after a while, you'll be able to create a style of your own. And then your videos are getting a certain like format to them that's recognizable, and hopefully it'll be fitting to your personality the way that you do it. Family, I'm just talking off the top of the head right now. And so they're just some of the YouTubers saying like you can't make any money or anything like that. But let me say this. And then this when I start putting effort to, I have made a video, and so I looked and I had freaking 5,000 views. I had 5,000 views. I was like, wow. I said, okay, 5,000. This is unbelievable. So I studied how I got those 5,000 views. And so then I was like, okay, my content is getting better. Or YouTube picked this up as an algorithm. And so then you'll try to repeat that, and it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that at all. It's the little things that you have to do and remember, and you hope it's going to be a good one. Like you'll make a video, the most that you'll put into it, you're like, oh, this is hot. This got everything. You put everything into it, and it won't get that many views. And then you do a video that you didn't put that much effort in, and it'll hit. It's something about those algorithms or something. But it comes down to the icons um, that you create. Some people, they will do clickbait, say a certain subject, and people gravitating before they know it. They'll be watching your video. It's not really a good subject, but they clicked on it. It's counted as a watch. It's different strategies. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's different strategies. But then you can create icons that really gravitate to the subject you're talking about. And what it has to be is a hot or even interesting subject that people want to talk about. Like if you look in your inspirations settings in your YouTube, it'll suggest different subjects that you can speak about. That's the way it works. And then you have to just keep going. Like at the end of your in your descriptions, put about 12 hashtags in there. When you put those different hashtags in there, it helps the algorithm. The algorithm will know how to direct your videos to different audiences. So whatever your niche is, kind of have 10 hashtags around that, and then YouTube algorithm will have an easier time of finding it, and then it'll be ready for your videos. I want to say it'll see it coming because of those hashtags, and it'll put you in a certain slot. But hopefully, once you get in that slot, you have more and more people gravitating towards you. And so that's when the part is that you have to do your part, and you have to create good content. Good product for ages has always sold itself. So what YouTube is for me is basically building a foundation. So you build a foundation, and then you have a group, and then you get certain followers or people to gravitate towards you, and then you just give them good content. You cater to those people. You get the foundation, and then people, they want content for you. They want to hear from you. They want to see to you. They want to see you have to cater to them, like I said. Just like you had to do to your clients when you first start out. And people like, oh, I don't want to go through all that. It's a hassle getting different people to buy your product and stuff like that. First of all, you had to have a great product. It's undeniable. And so they should see your service as like, you know what, this is a privilege. It's that good, and I stand behind it. I set my prices. I'm not going to budge or behind my product. But you got to have a good product. And like I said, as far as the foundation, once you get a foundation built, you can do what you want with it. So if you're a YouTuber, if you don't want to talk about streaming anymore, I don't care what niche it is. What do you do with the audience that you have? First of all, they have to have you interested in what you're saying. I'm gonna give you a perfect example. I don't have any ill feeling towards anyone. So this is the best example that I can think of. Content creator Superdale. When they stopped, um, when everyone when the restrictions for YouTube came out and all the creators had to cease making that type of content, many of them did not survive. But Superdale did. He survived. And that's what really intrigued me. I said, okay, I seen all these guys fall off and they couldn't talk about anything. But he had already built a foundation. So he catered to his foundation, to the people that gravitate towards him. He catered to them because they didn't care if streaming was dead or not. That's their favorite content creator. And they went there to be amongst each other. And like I said, that's when they're treated about it. You had to show your personality, and then you had to cater to your foundation. And some creators, they've never had that. They've never had that. A lot of creators that was riding with him, once they branched off, they didn't have their own foundation, a real foundation. I mean, the solid. You know what the foundation is? Something that's very, very solid and is not easily shaken. So I don't want to stay too long on that, but that's just a perfect example. You have to elevate. You have to elevate your subjects, what you're talking about. But first, you have to have the foundation, to be fair. Now let's talk about you, the go-getters, the hustlers out there. Now you totally disagree and say, nope, it's not dead at all. I would talk to many of you, and they're like, no, not here. Because I heard one creator think that most um, creators, they're making their money in the background. And that's absolutely fact. They're making it in the background. Now, do you see the importance of having a foundation? You don't want to shake your foundation. And so, if you have a foundation built, you can take that to another game. You got to think of all the outlets that we have right now, not just YouTube. So, if you take that foundation, you can take it elsewhere. I mean, Telegram, for example, and there are many more. Rumble, a lot, a lot. So we got that part of the game where we can just elevate more because we got so many different avenues. But again, you have to have the foundation. Now, the hustlers out there, that's why I bring the hustle to the game also because I know they want to hear it. I know what they're doing. I know they're getting, some of them are just getting started and some of them already established. And what they want to do is add new nuances to the game. If it goes to the packaging, if it goes to the branding, they listen to me because they want to find out how to get the bag. So they definitely say that streaming is a dead right now because they're getting the bag. They're not content creators. They are not content creators. And so I don't make my money off of the content I create off of here. And I never was on the agenda to do so. Those 10 people, they just grew. And that was my motivation. And last but not least, we got to address you, the most important, the end user, the ones that want to know things, the ones that want the information. But it has to be good information. A lot of YouTubers, they're talking about the hottest thing that's out there. The hottest thing is out there comes with a cost all the time. And so we had to tell about the budget devices, the premium devices, the opera devices in between. We had to have an unbiased opinion so they can make their best choice. And the end user also wants to know which device should they purchase because they don't want to keep on buying devices and getting the wrong ones or getting the wrong information and going out and buying the wrong devices. So if you come over here to Hufflink, that's one of my main goals right there. I want to save you some money. And if you want to spend some money, I want to show you that too. Now, like when I show you the Buzz TVs cost $500 to $600, family, they got some Sudo streaming devices cost $8,000. So when we talking about premium devices, that's not in my budget. So that's not to the audience I speak to. But if I did have that audience, that's the ones I will be catering to. And so I'm catering to the end user and the hustler and try to give any creators that might watch um, different nuances to the game. And for me, family, it is not difficult for myself to find content. And I think reason being is because I have an end user mindset. Now, people to refer me as a content creator and influencer, I barely can say that with a straight face. But I think for me having the end user mindset, it humbles me to where I can be the teacher and the student because I get a lot of my ideas from some of the comments that you make some of the concerns that you have, then it helps to have you a group of people that rock with you because they be having so much knowledge. It's crazy. I love the streaming community. I love networking. I've met so many people, and we talk all the time in the background. And for sure, family, you have to put in that work. I'm not saying that no one's not putting in that work, but I'm talking about that consistency. And what is your consistency? What is it going to be geared towards? Mine is geared towards the family. I like what I'm doing because I couldn't do it without your presence. And so your presence means more to me than money. Family, this channel is monetized. It can be donated to. I'll probably ask for a donation maybe 3 times. And the only reason I would want the donations, not that I'm going to be getting big checks from YouTube, but to get more devices so I can bring them to you. Right now, I'm purchasing them myself, some of them. So, family, if you would have told me that your guy Huff would be monetized, and I told I did it in a short time, like I said, I just really started posting a little over a year ago while I'm actually speaking and, just getting, well, if you've been watching. If you would have told me that Buzz TV said they watch my channel, I'm talking about probably had maybe 500 or 600 subscribers, that they would be interested in sending me their devices. And I know Superbox, they contacted people and got in touch with them to review their devices. But I guess they're impressed because they send in your guy Huff checks. So it's about having that foundation. I guess they seen something in me. Maybe it's just being genuine and organic, just like I'm doing now. I think that's what it is. I don't know. Family, what I would like for you to do is leave your comments. I want to know your aspects from the hustler to the end users to the people just here to try to learn a thing or two, and perhaps even a few of the content creators. What do you think? That's just my take on things. So, from my perspective, it's really good. It's really good. And if I can help anyone, um, let me know. Family, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Turn on that bell notification if you feel like being bothered by me. Family, be good, be safe, and I'll be back at you with another one.